Wow, it has been a long journey together until now we reach our sixth video onto our series of enabling you make 0.5 to 5% every single day. My name is Julius Kabanda. I partner with an amazing application called RoyalQ, but we basically decide to use TradingView as one of our basic tools that we can use to identify specific coins that are doing well at the moment so that we could be able to make an informed decision. Today, on the 24th of September 2022, I hereby release the sixth video, and this video is going to be talking about a particular indicator called ABCD V1. So we are specifically going to tap on the plus, and we go to FX indicators, and we basically go to technicals, and we type in the word A B C D V1. And like you see, I had already identified my indicator. So the first step to identify the indicator is to tap on the star so that it joins your favorite list. Then you tap once in the word. Then basically the indicator gets into your screen. But before the indicator, you see now mine is set. It has these words. You'll see yours not having the words. And so basically what you are supposed to do is to come to this area. There's an area here, there specifically, all right, where you see that word of settings. Where you see that area of settings and be able to pick it up. All right, so when you go to settings on style, we scroll down in the screen and we look for this area called zigzag. I hope you can see it right here. And what we do in this area of zigzag is to basically and purely choose the color. I hope you see zigzag is here. Oh no, it's not working out very well, but I will now not take a screenshot. So zigzag, we tap on the color, and you can choose your favorite color, right? So me, I chose purple. Someone can choose green. Someone can choose light blue. It's up to you. Another one can choose orange. It's up to you. And make sure the opacity, all right, this area that has this word called opacity, make sure it is 100. Then the thickness, you can choose the next box. You just tap on the next box and you are good to go. All right. Now, having done that, we now go to the input. Now, in the input here, that's where the important area is. And we choose the zigzag. And also we choose show HH and LL. Show HH and LL. So we tick this area, these, all right, and show the patterns. Now this indicator is a very special one because now remember, by the way, before I go to that side, remember to always come in this area where you see these three dots, save as default and press OK. So that's where we are going before I continue. Save as default, then press OK. So now you see my indicator is showing up very well in my screen. I see you can see it. Now the other thing we must do is basically to choose these dotted lines. You see them there, the dotted lines. Then we scroll down to the bottom. Always make sure you come here and save your work. Mine is already saved automatically, but sometimes it is not saved. So you come here and you save. Right. Now basically I'm going to cancel, and this is my indicator. We use ordinary candles. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to look at this specific strategy. Now this specific strategy that you see on the screen very clearly, it shows us the movement of the market. And it shows us specifically areas that are very important. I want you to understand how do we be able to know how to deal with the market. Now, we can understand that the market is in a downward movement when we look at the history. So you move behind a little bit, and you can basically and purely see areas that are important. You see LL, which stands for lower low. Then you see LH, which stands for lower high. So whenever the market shows you lower low, then definitely it will show you lower high. When it shows you lower high, then it shows you lower low. So it means the market is moving from the lower low going to the lower high. That means that we are in a downward trend. So this confirms a downward trend. Lower low, lower high. It confirms what we call a downward what? A downward trend. Now, when you reach areas like here, now you see lower high, then definitely it shows us lower low. You see from lower low, then show us lower high. All right, I hope you can see. But now, when it reaches areas where it shows you lower high, then it shows higher low. Then it means specifically you need to wait. All right, you need to wait. You need to wait. Now it shows you higher high, because you are supposed to get in at the higher low, then you get out at the higher high, like it happens the other side when the market is going down. Because when the market is going down here, you are supposed to enter from the lower low and get out in the lower high. So you get in at the lower low, then you get out at the lower high. So you get in at the lower low, get out at the lower high. Get in at the lower low, get out at the lower high. Get in at the lower low, get out of the lower high. So if we tap on this pencil and we scroll down here, we'll down at the bottom. Then we look for this is called a price range. So we long press our finger and then we press tap on start. Long press, then tap on the start. Like you see. So I long press, tap on the star, it means it will show in blue here, show in chart. So I remove it and then I tap on it. So when I measure, when the market comes from a lower low, this is the 4 hours time frame. You see, this market delivered 11%. Now, any skill that you want to master, basically and purely comes from practice. Any skill that you want to master comes from practice. Now, this independent indicator is good. Why? Because it basically and purely, this specific indicator I'm talking about, basically and purely, this indicator is the sweetest. I cannot lie to you. It is the sweetest because it basically gives you areas of entry in the market. So you get in at the lower low and get out at the lower high. Like it happens the other side when you get in at the higher low and get out at the lower high. Now someone may say, Julius, what should be my take profit? Now, basically, I usually advise all people where we are right now in the market to take a maximum of 2 to 3% from the market. 2 to 3% from the market. So if this indicator can guarantee 2 to 3% in the market. All right, 2 to 3%. But if you don't have fear, I usually advise you measure from the lower low and get your take profit from the previous lower high, which is here. Now someone may say, but will that be delivered? Okay, let us tap on the pencil and we pick our trend lines. You just come your trend lines. Pick what I call personally. You can pick a horizontal line. This one. Now it's getting. Let's measure here. Let's draw a line. Whether the market will touch. The only challenge is the inability to be patient. Let us see whether the market. You see now, you joined here, which was on the 18th of September. You were patient. You confidently know, because although the market goes down, it will still rise because it's a lower low. You see, now it delivers today on the 24th. So 17, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 8 days. After 8 days, you have your 17%. So it depends on how much money you were able to invest. Now, basically and purely, let me go to now you have bought, and instead of the market going high, the market has been having movements. So you join from the lower low, basically here, the lower low, and you get out of the previous lower high. You get in at the lower low and get out of a previous lower high. That is it. But during that sequence, you see the market even didn't get back to the entry price. It kept on going up and going down. So once you pick a coin at the lower low, then you'll get in at the lower high, the previous lower high. Remember, when the market is being formed, ladies and gentlemen, it's important for us to know that the market moves from the left going to the right. So the market will be moving forward. That's why you see, when I drew now, I see it in the future today. So when it comes to an upward trend, here specifically, we get in at the lower high. We get in at the higher low, at the higher low, and get out at the higher high. You see, now, after the market has formed a higher high, it will now form a higher low. So in a downward trend, we get in at the lower low and get out at the lower high. Let me just draw my screenshot again. In the downward market, we get in at the lower low, we get out at the lower high, the previous lower high. In an upward trend, we get in at the higher low and get out at the higher high. Simple as that. Okay. So you can see here when I pick my pencil and then pick my price range now, we get in here. If you use the 4-hour time frame, you see, just need to be patient. That is 5%. You get in at the higher low and get out at the higher high. So someone may say, I will not know the higher high. So what did you do? You get in here and get out at the previous, this one, the previous. So it means once it gets here for you to deliver the previous upper point from the lower point, to make it simple for someone. Then basically, I would advise if someone uses either the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame. Let me use the 1-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame, and the 30 minutes time frame. For example, this example here. Now this is an upward trend. An upward trend is comprised of important areas. An upward trend, I can see lower high, higher high, lower high, higher high. So you see, once the market hits the higher high, it either forms, when the market forms the higher high, it either forms a higher low or a lower low. So sometimes the market might move from a lower low, and from a lower low, let me clear now, from a lower low, it can either form a lower high or a higher high. That's how this indicator works, and you can use it. You can use it to basically and purely have what I personally call consistent results. Consistent results. And these results can consistently, for a very longer time, have for you. So you get in, like for example here, if you use 1 hour or 30 minutes, these are 30 minutes time frame. You tap, you see, and this is 30 minutes time frame. You get in at the higher low. I hope you see it here, the higher low. And you get out at the previous higher high. So if I would be trading and I get in here at the higher low, I'll get out at the previous higher high, which is this one. So it will have delivered 4%. So this is basically an amazing indicator that you can use. So you wait, make sure your areas of entry are higher low and your areas of out are the previous higher high. So basically this indicator can show you, and in the downward trend, you can usually enter at the lower low and get out at the previous lower high. All right, for example, if I get in at this area, I'll get out at this previous one here, and that is 3%. So it may not deliver now, but it will deliver. It is just a matter of patience. So if you want to scalp from the market a lot of profit, I would advise you to use this indicator at any trade you want. You get in at the higher low, get out at the higher high, the previous higher high. Okay, then you can enter the lower low and get out at the lower high. So basically these principles can be used for you to trade, and it's an independent indicator. So you get in at the lower low, get out at the lower high. Get in at the higher low, get out at the higher high. And basically 30 minutes, 1 hour. Now, let us talk about circumstances when the market goes against you. I would basically say that it is important for you to have what I personally call margin call configuration. Now, you have been able to pick your trade, for example, let me use algo in the 30 minutes time frame. All right, so basically I get in algo at the 30 minutes time frame, and it has given a lower low. I hope you can basically see it here, a lower low. So I picked my trade here, and I basically, my goal is to get out at the previous lower high. So I enter from there, and basically I want to get out from here, which is 3%. So the best approach for me to enjoy this 3%, I will not take capital for granted. Basically, I will not take capital for granted. I cannot take capital for granted. So what will I do? I want to trade algo. Let me see, algo is already doing well. XRP is already doing well. So I can pick algo. Let me change to the 1 hour time frame. Okay. It's already doing well. But here it's not showing here it's showing a lower high. It has not yet given a lower low. Okay. The zigzag formation. So if I'm not so much perfect and good at trading, I may not pick this. So I still can go to the 4 hour time frame. Let me look at it. It formed the higher high, and so I'm waiting. I can still wait to see what we call either a higher low or a lower low. All right, but let me look at XRP. I'm looking for a coin to trade. So if it has not showed me, I'll be patient. But if I use the lower time frame, let me say 15 minutes, if I'm very good at scalping, it has formed a lower low. So it either forms a lower high. Let me say I want to trade XRP, this, and I see that maybe in the 30 minutes time frame, this coin would be good, and I want to enter it now. Maybe I join at a higher time frame. Basically, what I would advise is to make sure when you pick a trade, you have margin calls in play. Let's get into margin calls. Now we go to our Royal Q platform. It depends on how much capital you have. All right. We know first buying amount is the first amount of money you want to expose in the market. So if you have, let me say, you have how much capital? Let's look at. Someone may say, "What about me? Was maybe let me say you have $200." Right. So it could be a bad trading habit for me to invest all my $200 once in the market. It doesn't matter. My goal should be growing my capital my goal should not be exposing all my capital at once so that I stay longer in a trade, unless I have what I will show you in my next video that talks about a perfect trade. There are trades that could be perfect with good areas of price action. All right. Now, basically, I say let me say I have $200 and I say my first buying amount should be 15. It means that whenever the robot will go in the market for the first time, it will invest $15. Now, you need to understand that trading must have discipline. So your goal is to keep on growing your capital, right? I say you can have a maximum of 7 margin calls, between 4 to 6, 4 to 5. Now, all right, now your take profit depends on what you measured. The whole position take profit callback, I would recommend a 0 depending on the market situation, or you can keep this 0.1 or you can make it 0.01, right? The buy-in callback, you can make it 0.1. Then remember, the whole position take profit ratio, which is this one, is what you measured. The callback is that when the market rises by 2% and it goes down by 0.01, your robot should sell. When you put a 0, it means that when the market rises by 2%, immediately it sells. All right. Now, you need to also understand that this works on the first 4 layers. The first 4 layers: margin call 1, margin call 2, margin call 3, margin call 4. But the distributed take profit allocation works from margin call 5, 6, and 7. Margin call 5, 6, and 7. Margin call 5, 6, and 7, up to 100 margin calls. But it makes each layer independent. So when the market falls by a certain percent, like we are going to see, and it rises by the percentage we put in this area where we call the distributed take profit allocation, the robot will sell. So it is important for me to understand that if I have my first 4 margin calls and I have my previous margin, these other margin calls that are in play, if I use them, I can allow my robot keep buying and selling that one margin call as it waits to sell big the first 4 margin calls. All right, now I hope that is cleared. So let us start with the margin call configuration. Now, the fact is, if you use 30 minutes time frame, I would recommend 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5 for the first 4 margin calls, 30 minutes, 1 hour. If you are using 4-hour time frame, I would recommend 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, the first 4 margin calls. Then when it gets to 5, if you use 4-hour, this could be 1%, 1%, 1%. When you add this together, it means from the current price you have joined, because we need to understand that it is, I'll get my calculator and say 0.8 plus 0.8 plus 0.8, that's 3 times, plus 0.8, that's already 3%. Then plus 3, which is 6%. That from the current price you have joined, when the market falls by 6%, those are your margin call configuration. All right, because you are joining from the lower low, getting out from the lower high. But at the same time, you can join from the lower high, then the market buys these margin calls and you can sell faster. Now, when it comes to the margin call configuration, I want everybody to understand that the robot, this now will get into genome understanding. The robot, when it sells all these 3 at once. when the robot comes to sell, it sells all these these four at once. For example, when the market rises, it can sell this alone. Yes, it can sell it alone. But if it has bought all the four and the market rises, it sells all these four at once. But the fifth is in this one is independent, this one is independent, and this one is independent. Each of these is independent. So it can come and sell only the fourth margin call alone. Sorry, the fifth margin call alone, the sixth margin call alone. Now it is important for you to set your multiple buying ratio depending on your capital. So if I put a 1 there, I can put a 1.1 there, and then I put a 1.12 there, then I put a 1.13. So let us just, this is simple. The reason why you don't want to invest in a lot of money for the first four margin calls, because when the market rises, the robot sells everything at once. So it will be 15 times 1, which is 15. But the next call is 15 times 1.1, which is 16.5. It looks like little money. It is depending on how much capital you have. If you have huge capital, I would recommend you use multiples of 2. Multiples of 2, which is 2, 4, 8, 16. But I want you to focus that if the robot gets from the first four margin calls and it enters margin call number 5, margin call number 6, margin call number 7, this is where the magic is. That's where I would recommend here your multiple buying ratio should be huge. So I can come slow with the first four margin calls. I can really come slow with the first four margin calls. I can seriously come slow, but when I reach on the fifth, I can put a 2. If I have good capital, this is 2.5. I raise. Then I can put a 3 here. So that when the market gets cheaper, my robot buys more. But the sequence should be that whenever the market falls down, the robot buys more. So if I'm using 1 hour time frame, 0.5 is okay here. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Then here I can raise it a little bit to 1%. If I'm using 1 hour 30 minutes time frame. So this is how we can basically set up our margin calls. Remember, the multiple buying ratio moves with the relationship to your first buying amount. Okay, so I confirm, and then I come on the distributed take profit allocation. Now here, you want your robot to sell not with a high take profit. Why? Because you want to sell, then it sells the other big one where you had put your high take profit. And so this one is okay. 1.1 is more efficient, or 1.3 is also okay. And there we go. So make sure we are on one shot, and this one we can still this callback, make sure also it can be 0.01. all right, we create some benefit of doubt, all right, or you can put it to 0 depending to you, all right, but I can put it to 0.01 or 0 depending to you, all right. Why do I say depending to you? It means you specifically need 1.1, all right, but 0.01 is achievable very fast also at the same. So you save, and basically you can basically and purely now enjoy your trade comfortably. Right, so thank you so much. I hope this was very formative for you, so that you can enjoy. Right now you see it has formed what we call a lower high, and that's why I was saying now you can join from the lower high there. Then your robot keeps on buying these margin calls, and until it reaches the lower low. Then basically it gets up, and you can continuously keep making money, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for this. I hope to see you on our next tutorial, where we are going to bring in if you want to make 30%, 20%, 40%, 50%, I have an amazing indicator for you, which will be our next tutorial, and that will be video number 7.